Hi, welcome to 5 Minutes to Change Your Pain. I'm Melissa West and I'm going to show you how to do a glute or butt and hip stretch. So we're going to do two positions. The first one is going to be lying on your back, and then I'm going to get up and show you how to do it when you're seated. So you can actually, because you can do it seated as well, you can do it anytime throughout the day, which is just bonus. Okay, so we're going to roll back onto our backs. A firmer surface is always better. Now if you're having any neck issues, what you can do is either take a little block like this, or maybe a small magazine or something like that, put it underneath your head, tuck it right into your shoulders, and then your head will be more supported. It won't put as much pressure on your neck. If that is too high for you or too hard, you can actually just roll up or fold up a towel or a blanket or use another mat and just slide it like that, and sometimes that's just enough to give you a little bit of support underneath your head and keep the pressure off your neck. So now we've got our knees bent, feet flat on the floor. We're resting comfortably on our back. Let's start with our right leg. So we're going to take our right leg up and bring our right ankle above the opposite kneecap. Make sure that that right ankle hangs off of the leg. And then we're going to lift up our upper body and lift up our lower body and grab right behind, interlace your fingers right behind that left thigh. So you're going to go through that hole that you've made between your legs, and then drop right back again and get comfortable with the head and shoulders and make sure they're as relaxed as possible. And then you're going to push your butt down into the floor, so you don't want your butt lifting as you do this. And you're going to see how far you can pull that left knee in towards you. So you got to use a little muscle with those arms to pull that left knee in, but not allowing the butt and the low back to lift off the floor. So if you're doing this and you're lifting your butt way up off the floor, you're not getting the same stretch. You want to keep that whole spine and the butt flat on the floor as you pull the knee in. So the things to think about while you're doing this is to keep the upper body as relaxed as you can. That right knee can push away from you, and you can use your muscles to push it away if you like. So you just open up that right knee with your muscles and push the right knee open. Just make sure that right knee doesn't fall in towards the chest. Keep it out to the side. Push the right hip down. If you think of pushing the right hip down into the floor, you're going to feel the stretch change a little. It'll get a little deeper. And then keep trying to pull the left knee in. So another way to get a little bit more intensity in this stretch, if you're not feeling it that much, is to take the left knee and just roll it, or just let it fall out to the left side, maybe half an inch even. And then push your right hip back down to the floor, because you'll notice your right hip wants to lift as you roll over or fall over to the left with that knee. So it's a very subtle movement. Then continue to pull that left knee in as you push the right hip down. And then if you want more stretch, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, maybe let that left knee just fall out to the left a little bit and keep pushing the right hip down, and you'll feel it go deeper and deeper into the hips. And keep the upper body relaxed. So if you're having a problem actually reaching your leg and holding onto your leg, then before you start, I'm going to release this position and show you something to do before you even start. What you want to do is grab either a towel and roll it up nice and long, or if you have a strap or a belt, you put it behind your thigh first. And then you grab and wrap it around your hand so you got a really good grip on it. Put it up kind of mid-thigh area, closer, a little bit closer to the knee, then relax back. Then with your arms, you've got a little bit more length, and then you can pull that knee towards you. And then everything still applies. If you can drop your elbows onto the floor when you're doing that, even better, because then your upper body can rest more and relax more. And then take some deep breaths. As you exhale, pull that knee in a little bit more. Push your right hip down, push your right knee out, and maybe even drop that left knee out to the left a little bit. But keep that right hip down, and as you keep pushing that right hip down, you're going to feel it go deeper and deeper right into the butt, hip, and you may even feel it through the back of the right thigh or kind of inner thigh, and that's all fine. But you really want to be feeling it through your butt, hip, SI joint if you know where that is, and right deep into the butt cheek. Breathe through it. Again, 30 seconds minimum, longer if you want. Slowly drop that leg down, and then you switch other legs. So if you're using a strap or a towel, wrap it around the other leg first. Then take your left heel or your left ankle and place it above the right knee. Ankle bone hangs off of the leg. And then wrap your hands around that rope. Pull that right knee towards you. Push your butt down. Push your left knee out to the side. And then roll the right knee to the right just a little bit if you feel like you want more stretch. Otherwise, just leave that knee where it is if it's too intense. Try to get those elbows resting down on the ground. Release the upper body, relax the neck. And then every time you exhale, see if you can pull that knee in a little bit farther. Maybe you can push the left knee out a little bit. Maybe you can roll the right knee to the right a little bit and feel that stretch go deeper into the butt and the glute and the hip, maybe up the thigh a little bit. And really keep pushing that left hip down. The other thing you can think about is when you take a deep breath and you exhale, think about your butt muscles just dropping to the floor. Let them relax. Let them just fall off your bones if they could. Just let them go. And that will also allow you to have a deeper stretch. If you're holding those butt muscles tight, then you won't be able to get into those attachments of those muscles. So really relax those shoulders and breathe. And let's just roll out maybe a little bit more to the right if you can with that right knee. And push your butt down and your left hip down and breathe. And then slowly drop it down and drop the legs. And remember, if anything gets tingly while you're doing this, upper or lower body, release the stretch for a second if it's really uncomfortable. Otherwise, tingling can happen for about 30 seconds safely. And then after that, it becomes damaging to the tissue. So you can hold it for 30 seconds with the tinglies and then release and then try again, okay? So I'm going to show you now. I'm going to come up slowly. And we're going to show you how to do it in a seated position. So what you want to make sure is that you have room to move your legs when you're in a seated position. So sitting out on the front edge of a nice firm surface is a good way to do it. Make sure that if you're back here, the armrests might get in the way. So you're going to sit up really tall. Have your ankles right underneath your knees. This is really important. If you have your feet back like this where your knees are over your toes, or if the feet are closer together than the knees or vice versa, it's not going to give you the same stretch. So stacking the joints is really important. Knees over top of the ankles. Again, up really tall, pulling tall from the crown of the head. We're going to take the right leg and we're going to cross it over the left. Now, if you can't even get your leg up there, then what you're going to do is move that left leg forward. And that will drop the other leg down. And then as you get more flexible, you move that left foot towards you. Okay? So I can be about here pretty comfortably, so I'm going to sit right there like that, and then it's really, really tall. As soon as you stick your butt out behind you and come up really tall, you're going to feel a really intense stretch through that right hip. Ankle bone is hanging off the leg, not on like this or across the other side of it, because that's hard on the ankle joint. Let that foot be nice and relaxed. And then as you can kind of push that other knee out a little bit. Stick your butt out behind you, come up really tall, and if you want even more stretch, from the hip, you're just going to bend forward. So when I say from the hip, it means no collapsing the spine like this. This would be bending from the waist, and this, coming forward, is bending from the hip. So you're still sticking your butt out behind you, and breathe through it and hold. You'll also notice if you move your knee one way or the other, you're not going to get the same stretch. So keep that knee over top of the ankle and breathe. And then after about 30 seconds, you come up really tall and you switch sides. Start with your feet together so you know everything is aligned. Feet out front if you need to. And then the leg comes up. If you feel like you want more stretch, bring that leg back. Push that knee out. Come up tall from the hip. And then relax the shoulders, stick the butt out behind you, and from the hip, move forward and breathe. And that's all you have to do. So you can do this sitting at your desk if you like. And the hips get really, really tight. All these muscles that we're doing in these stretches are kind of the basic muscle groups, and they get really tight throughout the day. So if you can go through a little stretch for yourself once a day, that would be really, really beneficial. And I know time is of the essence, so do what you can. This one here, you'll find if you have any low back pain, hip issues, SI joint issues, spinal issues, even up through the mid-back, and especially lower body stuff, this is going to be really, really beneficial. So do what you can to get this stretch in throughout the day. When you're sitting all day, these joints get really, really stiff. So up nice and tall, breathe, and then come out of it. And just try to repeat that a few times throughout the day as you're sitting at your desk. And make sure you hydrate too, because those muscles need to be nice and elasticy to get a good stretch. And we'll see you at the next video. Thank you.